Race for the mini collection for sure. Pole position goes to Tom Ovenden on his debut in JCW. So this is, remember, the outright pole race. Ant Wharton-Eales, a guest returning, is on his outside. Marlowe Cordell starts third. Great qualifying from him, and the defending champion, double champion Dan Zelos is back. He's fourth. Maximus Hall is in fifth position with Jamie Osborne alongside on row 3. Then it's Lydia Walmsley and Dom Wheatley. Happy birthday, Dom. Matt Hammond is next, another newcomer into JCW's. Brad Gravitt returns. He is P10. Lewis Selby next up from another newcomer, Nathan Edwards. Nelson King is next from one of the directors' class, James Griffith. Josh Porter completes the JCWs. Oh, no, he doesn't. It's Chris McKenzie next up, isn't it? Chris didn't start yesterday, so it's his debut. Then we go on to the JCW Sport cars, the slightly detuned cars with the H pattern. Albert Webster not here. Dylan Hotchin, I think, is Cameron Richardson, Ben Crossley and Hannah Chapman, the 5 cars in a brand new class for the Vertu Motors Challenge.
I like it. I like the new class. H pattern, like you say, a bit less power.
Yep.
Great idea. Just bridges that gap, doesn't it, to get to the top class of mini challenge, maybe from the Coopers.
Yeah, it's giving people a chance to come in as the work frantically goes on in pit lane. We're going to see a lot more. There are more cars being built. We'll see a lot more of them in the future rounds. We've got 6 more weekends of Vertu Mini Challenge to go this year. But the big story, Tom Ovenden coming out of the Coopers, said last year at Brands Hatch when he wrapped that up that he wasn't going to race anymore, but he's found the budget. I'm so glad he has, because his talent is evident. Pole position yesterday. He's qualified and he is there ready to show the rest how to do it. Ant Wharton-Eales, though, another former champion, lines up next to him. Out go the lights, and Ant Wharton-Eales is very quick off the line, but so too is Ovenden. 4th place, Dan Zelos gets away well. 3rd position car, Marlowe Cordell, having issues, pulls over. I think that's a good move from Marlowe, pulling out of the way. Big disappointment for him in the Jam Sport prepared car, but it's Ovenden that leads them down through Redgate for the first time. This is going to be one nervy moment, Paul.
Yeah, it's going to be great. They're on wet tyres, these runners. We've only got Lewis Selby waiting, coming out the pits, but this will be fine. The wet tyres will be up to temperature and they'll be fine. But Ovenden was brilliant off the line. Ant Wharton-Eales is fantastic usually off the line, and he didn't have an answer. Matt Hammond and Nelson King, and that's Matt Hammond in the gravel already.
Hammond's a busy boy this weekend. He's racing in the Radicals as well. 2 weeks ago, he had no plans to race. Well, he planned to race, but he didn't have anything concrete to go, as Zelos has a little looky up the inside there. In the mix is Dan Zelos, looking to make it an unprecedented 3rd championship. We've got a car in the gravel, he managed to get through.
That's weird. Ant Wharton-Eales went from 2nd to 4th, and now he's going back up to 3rd, so he must have had a problem with the gear change or something. He just dropped 2 places, but he's already getting 1 back.
This is familiar territory for Wharton-Eales, as I mentioned, a former champion this year racing in Brisker Formula 1 stock cars that you know all about. So he's got to get the bumper mentality away. He will. He's a very intelligent driver, is Ant, and up ahead of Maximus Hall.
That's Lewis Selby off the back with the slicks on. Be interesting to see how this is going to take a while for him to get the tyres up to 10, but I'm going to say he could win this. Oh, look at that for a move. Maximus, go on, son, get down the inside. Oh, that's on Ant Wharton-Eales. Have some of that, champ.
He's the youngest driver in the race, the youngster from Dursley in Gloucestershire, and under big pressure from Jamie Osborne having a bit of a nap attack there in the 77. But it's Ovenden from Zelos out front. Dan won yesterday's race, which was the 2nd fastest time in practice, determining the front drivers. And Osborne having a go at Maximus Hall, who actually met for the first time here years ago, raced in Ginetta Juniors, so a product of that championship as well. Great youngster, coming up through the Coopers as well, made his debut last year, did 1 meeting with us last year. Rookie status, change for the leaders. Dan Zelos pops up the inside. Tom Ovenden now can learn from the master.
Yeah, this will be interesting, won't it? These tyres are starting to roll around. That's Lydia Walmsley down the inside of Jamie Osborne. Jamie Osborne gets her back. Great racing already, but this is going to hurt the tyres. It's going to be 3 abreast. That's Dom Wheatley, isn't it, trying to get involved as well? But 2 abreast down to the chicane. Good luck.
Dominic Wheatley, not only his 30th birthday today, moves over this season to the Accelerate team. With Graves Motorsport missing this year, sadly, from JCW. Hope we see him back at some point. We've lost Hybrid Tune as well, but still plenty of quality teams servicing cars in this championship.
Right, here it is. Selby's going to win this. He's last at the minute, but Selby at the back is purple already on his slicks. He's going to win this race.
Official prediction there from Paul.
Yes.
You've just Murray Walkered him, haven't you?
Nope. Here he is. He's coming. Look, that car at the back of the grid. That car at the very back. is going to win this race. If he can get past on the dry parts, that car, that Napa car now, look, already picked one off. Slicks, up to temperature, 19th position, and now that is 18th. He's already going to be picking these off every single lap. That boy's going to win.
He's certainly going for it. He's passing Ben Crossley, the former junior rallycross driver, one in the sports cars. Remember, slightly slower. They will run to a separate grid off the back. And yeah, he's gunning for it, isn't he, Selby? So we've lost Marlowe Cordell, which is a shame. Lydia's still getting stuck in again. Looks on the inside run of Osborne, makes that through. Little bit of a tap on the way through. Wheatley sees the door open as well in the EDM car, and I think Wheatley read that well. Osborne just on the outside run. Is Dom going to get the run here? He's certainly got the line as they come down in towards the Robert chicane.
Brilliant stuff. This is a great start to the mini challenge racing. There's just been side-by-side action. Those wet tyres on all of those cars except for Selby's are going to be absolutely overheating. Down the inside, that's Selby on the wet line on his slicks. He is picking them those lower class cars off very easily.
Absolutely superb stuff. Went and spoke to the guys when it was raining and girls, and they all just wanted to get out racing. They were all happy to take the risk and go out. But of course, the officials got a duty of care to all our drivers, and they've tried to keep them as safe as possible over the course of the day, which is key. Selby's definitely flying, as you can see on the timing tower. Fastest lap for him, and he's picking them off one by one. This is a masterclass for Selby.
Yeah, that's the only places that look at that number 19. So sorry, 18 Selby. He's a bit sheepish through the damp parts, which is just down the craners. But look, I know the different class cars that he's passed now, but he's up now with the same class cars. So Griffiths is his first guy he's got to pick off, I think.
He's given us a little tour, isn't he, through the grid, which is quite nice. He's just passed Dylan Hotchin, who comes out of the Fiesta Junior Championship and now busy closing in on James Griffith, who's been an evergreen in the directors category for the over 40s.
Oh my word, honestly, he's going to win this. He's got 14 minutes left and the wet tyres are already struggling in these cars, but these guys are at the chicane, so the leaders are at the chicane, but this is going to be a great race. Everything's going on.
And Walter Neals, as perhaps mentioned, took the race win yesterday, but it was a nat swing from Dan Zelos, who was behind him most of the race. And Walter Neals coming, yeah,
that Walter Neals car, with a flapping front bonnet, that's not going to last the race. Look at that, Maximus Hall into the back of
little
him. Little tap. Hello, mate. I'm here. Have a look at my yellow
and
front.
Walter Neals thinks he's in the V8 at Skeggy, Skeg Vegas, doesn't he?
He bet he wishes he has a V8. That he's got to come in with that. That's not going to last. I wonder how long it'll take the officials to say he needs to come in.
Yeah, don't want any.
Oh, the rear splitter.
Well,
car's falling to bits.
Let's see what Maximus can do. He's got his dad's overalls on today, Maximus, which got Matt Hall on. So I was winding him up and calling him Matt in the paddock earlier on, and his dad said, "I don't fit the overalls anymore, but you can call him Matt if you want."
Oh dear.
Here comes Lydia's having a go, isn't she? Lydia Walmsley looks on the inside run to try and pull off another position here. I think this is only be the second meeting that Lydia's raced with Maximus Hall, but they're side by side. Lydia's got the line. Tom Wheatley could be her wingman, but Max read that well, didn't he? Saw that the job was done, just pulls over to block Wheatley coming through, which is good for him.
Yeah, proper stuff. This Lydia is absolutely on fire here. She's flying. I watched her yesterday from the spectator banking, and she was absolutely lit until I think she had a bit of a problem and had to cut the race short. But Selby is flying. I'm looking at his lap times, and he is a good 2 seconds quicker than anyone in front of him. So Selby in the 18. This is the slick shod car, the Napa car. Bang, straight down the side of Josh Porter, I believe that is.
Yeah, so he's passed the Interclaim's car of Nathan Edwards. He's passed Josh Porter now, up into 9th place. Yeah, it looks like you called this one well, fella.
Maybe, we'll see.
Oh, you're edging now.
Well, the last thing, the only fly in the ointment could be if there's a safety car to save the wet tyre runners, but still, I think he's got enough time.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. So Maximus Hall just dropping back a little bit from Lydia Walmsley at the moment, and Dom Wheatley busy challenging him with his new livery, because you have to get used to those, and he's found the gap. So Maximus Hall, love the eyes on that car, you see that?
Yeah, it's great.
It's a great looking machine, really spectacular one. And Dominic Wheatley goes through, Walmsley ahead of them.
Oh, look at that now. Selby down the inside of his own teammate. And that left front of his teammate, Jamie Osborne, is destroyed. And that will just be fueling the fire of wanting to get past. And look at Lydia Walmsley. She's proper giving Ant Waterneals a go now. She's got a podium in her.
Yeah, well, I mean, points-wise, it's a podium. Maxwell has a little excursion off onto the grass and comes back through. Yeah.
Absolutely. Why are all these cars looking like they've been in a demolition derby? None of them are straight. Go on! Get across the front of him. Brilliant from Lydia. She ain't having any of that from the champ. She is driving fantastically. This is great to see.
Yeah, Lydia Wormsley running well. We've had a couple of seasons with us now in the JCWs, following a race-winning campaign in the Coopers, side by side behind them. And coming through is Selby, virtually up with the leaders now. Passes Wheatley. It's going to be Wormsley next up. The next target for her, but absolutely flying at the moment. A lot of people will say, well, he's got the right times up, but he made the call. That's the key thing.
Richard, he was the only one to come in the pit to make the call, and now he's battling for third. That's, no, Lydia! That's the front wet tyres giving up. That could be a safety car, and that is really going to help Selby out now. He will close the lead up. Zelos will be fuming.
Not too many miles away, we've got another Selby, the Jester, haven't we, playing this weekend? And I'll tell you what, we've got a real Jester here.
Look at this, Ant Wharton-Eales has turned himself into Madonna from the 80s. He's got rid of it now.
Now, are we going to get a safety car for that? The car's off in the gravel. It's a fair way off. We've still got 10 minutes of the race left. Shame for Lydia, because she was in a podium position.
Gutted for Lydia. She could have done that. I'm thinking maybe, well, they've got live snatch here, haven't they? So they might keep the race going. But the other thing she's got no chance of getting out of that. So she's been looking and defending, and the front, look, you can see the front's trying to get grip and starting to roll and then lock and roll. That's her coming off the brakes to try to get the car to turn. I am devastated. If she would have looked behind her, she'd have just let Selby through, knowing he was on slicks, but she probably just thought, I've got to defend for my life. She'll be devastated. That was driver the race up to then. Gutted.
Yeah, it was, you know, and that's the disappointing thing. 2 DNFs this weekend, but they're done now. Forget that, finish it, remember your pace, go forward into the next round with the pace.
Exactly. So, is this a big move? Nelson King? That's a great move
Nelson.
on Maximus.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant. Does he get him back? No. Great stuff. This is fantastic. I'm loving this. I'm liking the mini challenge. This is brilliant.
It's good racing. Dan Zelos, though, it's as you were last season, it was Zelos looking for a double from Tom Ovenden, who's bedding himself in nicely. Pole position, wasn't able to fend off Zelos in the opening stages, but comfortable in second position. That's a good, handy start for that youngster, that lad from Kent. Really good. And home tarmac next time, of course. Brands Hatch for him.
This is for the lead.
Yep. So Lewis Selby closing in on the leader, Dan Zelos. I don't know if Dan's had the email. We'll probably realise what's going on. Cam Richardson in one of the sports cars just going up. Napa represented, of course, in the JCWs and in the sports as the battle for the lead, such as it is a battle, goes down through the Craner curves.
Got to be careful here. Selby just can drive past him whenever he wants. Zelos will not understand why he's got so much grip. Just pick your moment, because if you lose this now, that's game over. He's done it. He's got round him. That's fine. But he has got a wet rear right now, Richard. He'll probably see that he's on slicks now. He must know, but don't lock it up on the damp.
Yeah, he knows he's that much better as he goes safely through. So Lewis, well done, Paul. Good call.
Just got it, eh? Just got it.
Yeah, you're saying about Dan Zelos having more grip. That explains why he beat me by 2 laps in the karts at the scholarship.
That's exactly why it was. So here we go. This was the change for the lead, and what I loved about Selby was he knew he had laps in the bag to get past round the outside. But look at the damp. He knows he's got a cold right rear slick tyre now, but still he takes his time. But then look at the water. He has a little moment, gets it slowed down. Oh, hang on. Was that job done? There was a yellow.
Yeah, it was. Lydia's car was there, so.
Oh, he must have known that was there, but the yellow might have just. Oh.
Well.
That'll be interesting, because that's a live snatch, yeah?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, very much.
That's interesting. Wow. I wonder where that marshal's post was. I'd like to think Selby is not that stupid.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not. He's got a lot of experience, isn't he? So.
Right. Let's have a look out for. Can we see any So he's ahead now. No, that's. Oh, he's not, is he?
No, Dan's ahead now.
So where is that flag marshal?
That's difficult to call, because they were pretty much even as they were 90 degrees onto the camera, Paul.
I would say, and I don't want to speculate, I would say that there was a flag marshal before that, and I think Selby was ahead of it, and I think Zelos come out the throttle not to go side by side silly. I'd like to think that'll be okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's be relief for Selby. What a story we've got here.
Wow, proper that.
Lewis Selby takes this one for Napa. And there he is, fastest lap. He's away now, 1.623 seconds. Dan Zelos in second place, and you can see just how far he has come. Tom Ovenden now in third. Don Wheatley next up. Ant Wharton-Neal's back in fifth. Sixth position is Osborne, then it's Nelson King seventh from Maximus Hall.
I still cannot get my breath why nobody else come in the pits. Honestly, when I seen him in the pits, I was like, where's everyone else? That's crazy.
I think it's a group dynamic thing, isn't it? You know, people look at what everyone else is doing, and until someone does it, and maybe it was just too late when he made that decision, thought, I'm going to go for it, and if that's the case, I'm the only one, I'll have that advantage. And that's what he did.
Yeah, when you're starting from
and he was 11th.
Yeah, you've got a gamble, haven't you? You're right.
It's a roll of the dice, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But what a great decision.
Brilliant.
Now, of course, we've got the sport runners as well. Just looking at the timing screen, we've got Dylan Hotchin, who leads that at the moment from Ben Crossley, and then Hannah Chapman. Hannah Chapman running as an invitation runner, not a guest runner. The difference between invitation and guest is the invitation won't get any trophies or anything at all. It's basically a development car, Hannah Chapman's car, for sustainable fuel. We haven't seen it yet, but we were hoping to run a feature, but hopefully we'll get a look at Hannah's car.
Look at Osborne sideways. The tyres, every single car on that grid, except for Selby's, is now overheating. They've got 5.5 minutes of absolute hell now. This is horrific for them. The tyres, they turn into, just imagine having a chewing gum in your mouth for an hour. That's exactly what those tyres will be like. The front axle will not want to do anything, and then the rear axle, the rear tyres will just want to give up. The whole car's just giving up. Just give up.
Don't give up Brad Gravitt, though. He's having a good go at Maximus Hall there. Lovely to see Brad very late in the day coming into the championship, or certainly the announcement was, but always good to have him in the championship. Good to have him back. He's much further down than he would like to be as the battered Maximus Hall car comes through the Roberts chicane with Bradley Gravitt right behind him. Then it's Nathan Edwards on his debut in 10th position, and Nathan messaged me yesterday as we go back to our leader, Lewis Selby, well clear, no problems at all.
The other thing I'm surprised at, he's having a nightmare with his tyres. He's backing him up. So he was stopped on the apex there, and Nelson Kingley drove through him. So Osborne, all these cars now are just, their tyres are ruined, and I'm surprised they're not trying to drive on the wet part of the circuit to cool the tyre down, because that left rear's now said, I don't want any more. Nelson King is coming for you. This is going to back everyone up.
I don't want another Osborne off the track. We had that in the BTCC, which was a shame, big shame, but now Nelson King's going to have a look through on the inside line. He's teeing him up very nicely, but it's the outside for the next corner. Osborne hangs on to it. Maximus Hall is coming up in blue and yellow as well, but the Laser Tool cars is putting pressure on. Now they're forming a queue. It's a quintet for this position as Nelson King goes to the outside of Osborne, rides the curbs. King trying to get the momentum here as they come out of coppice. The double apex right-hander Maximus Hall in the yellow car on the inside run as well. We've got Brad Gravitt in the mix as well, caught up with them, but still out of all this, believe it or not, Osborne's still in front.
Someone's going to lock up, aren't they? Someone's tyres are not going to just do this. King around the outside of Gravitt. Brilliant stuff. Gravitt on the grass splitter gone. Edwards up into another place.
Yeah, Edwards read that well, didn't he? He's again betting himself into it. Let's see, Nelson King is going to try and come back at him. Brad Gravitt trying to get rid of all the muck and dirt from under the car, but that battle is extinguished for him with 3 minutes still on the clock. Let's have a look again.
Oh, beautiful. Great. So you can see King in the laser car gives the big, he doesn't even give a big squeeze. The right front just gives up on Gravitt's car in that 10. You see, that's a great angle through and up and over the crest. What, does he really squeeze him? No, he just goes off himself, Gravitt. The right front gives up. It's just overheating and giving up. This is the worst condition for these kind of tyres. This is great stuff from this guy. What an absolutely brilliant decision. Just inspired. Brilliant.
And it brings the team into it. You know, we saw the team working on the car. It isn't always about the driver. In the interviews, I get frustrated when the drivers say we came da-da-da. This is a we, because he did go into the pit lane. He did have the team service the car, get him out. Yeah,
exactly. The team can't call him in, you know, because they've got no radios. As we see Edwards now. Edwards is flying. Edwards down the inside of Hall for another position. But yeah, it is a team thing. But these cars don't have radios, so you know they can't be told what to do. But brilliant. This has been a brilliant race.
Loving seeing the drivers coming up from the challenge as well, the Cooper Challenge. Absolutely brilliant. Nathan Edwards here, Maximus Hall did join us in the JCWs, of course. Former Cooper champion Nelson King in the mix as well, and you know, Anthony Williams and the team give us this ladder where you can come into the Coopers. You've got the Club Sport as well, which is loosely affiliated to the Mini Challenge, but you can come and race the Coopers, make the move up now into the JCW Sports, into the JCWs themselves. And here we've got the drivers who have made that step, putting on some great racing. And I'll tell you what, Edwards has done very well to get in front of those two in the Interclans car. Maximus Hall trying to close him down again. The eyes have it, don't they? Right in the mirrors of the driver from Kent, with Selby with 1 minute 37 on the clock. There's Lydia. She's going to be gutted.
She's devastated. That was, hands down, the best race I've ever seen her do. And to be smoking Antwater Eels, who was coaching her last year, that was proper effort, mate. Proper effort. Josh.
Josh Porter becomes our third retirement actually of the race. Still looks smart, that one.
Yeah, what's he? I think he might just have had a bit of a loose splitter or something.
So Selby still out front, then 1:16, 3 seconds a lap quicker than the other drivers on their personal best laps over the course of this, underlining that the Napa driver made the correct decision at the start of this to come in and gave us a guided tour as he came through the field. Love that we managed to follow his progress after your call, Paul. Absolutely superb. And he's out front.
Yeah, Maximus Hall, 5-second penalty exceeding track limits. That's the third car in this group with the angry eyes.
Up to the clock, like a walk of shame, isn't it, from the paddock to the clock of the course. I saw so many drivers doing that yesterday. When I was walking up, clock of the course, how did you know you're going that direction?
Where else would you be going? Dear me, that's mental, isn't it? Crazy. Look at this then. I mean, Jamie Osborne backing it in again. Look at that left rear, that Napa car. It's just oversteering everywhere. This next corner coming up where Lydia went off, this is where the Napa car looked like it was really struggling. As he comes through this right hand, now he really slows it down. But Selby, what an absolutely inspired call, and you and your team deserve the round of applause you're going to get, hopefully, for this fantastic result.
Yeah, rewarding the Napa boys. They seem to win wherever they go, don't they?
Yeah.
And we saw Paul Rivette winning in a Division 2 truck against the Division 1s in the wet at Brands Hatch a few weeks ago, and now Selby, and it's the support categories. How fantastic is that for that team?
Proper people making.
Mind you, Tom Wheatley's having a go here, isn't he? Tom Wheatley's closing in.
Yeah, he's not. It's not over yet, is it? This will be a good last lap for third.
Yeah, it is. Is the birthday boy going to get on the podium? So Tom Wheatley, great to have him back. Another Cooper champion, of course, who's made the move up into the JCWs, putting Tom Ovenden, the pole position man, the reigning Cooper champion. Can't remember if we saw Tom Ovenden and Don Wheatley together in Coopers. We'll have to dig the programmes out and see whether they did actually race together. But they are doing so now in JCWs, and Wheatley is putting the pressure on.
Yeah, big pressure. This is getting a bit close now, and Warren Eels didn't get called in for that bonnet, so it's all good. But there's your race winner.
Here he comes then. What a drive we have seen from Lewis Selby, who is going to take the checkered flag. An inspired decision, a terrific drive through the field as well to take the win here at Donington Park in our second race of the season. Second place will go to yesterday's winner, and therefore maintaining the championship lead, it's going to be Dan Zelos some way back as he comes down into the Robert chicane. He'll maybe have a glance in his mirrors and see that Tom Ovenden is away down. Zelos marking himself out as the class of the field again. This year is going to be a different. Is he going to take a third title? Certainly takes the second position to add to the first he had yesterday. And third place, the battle's still on, and it's Tom Ovenden who gets the podium. Ovenden gets the podium from Wheatley, with Antwater Eels next up from Jamie Osborne. And Jamie, I think, coming back on. Oh, Nelson King off.
Oh no. That's Bradley Gravitt, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, that's not great going off there with a car already in the gravel, but it was well out the way, to be fair.
More points for the guys behind, of course. Dylan Hopkins still winning the club sport at the moment, so we've got Matt Hammond in the mix as well, coming through in the treble 8 car, the red machine. So Matt, who is fingers crossed going to get out in the Radical as well, and hopefully we'll get a second mini race again a little bit later on to complete our field. Dylan Hotchin has indeed won the sport, and he actually had 2 JCWs. Oh no, he didn't. He had Griffith between himself and Hannah Chapman, who takes a notional second place, being the invitation.